So I'm here to do a roof inspection. This particular customer is selling their home and they are looking to get a roof certification so that the next owner does not have to worry. We're very strict on this because we don't want to be responsible. We do not want to tell the next person that the roof's fine if it's not fine. So just wanted to show you guys what we at the Grace Family Roofing Company do on every roof, what kind of inspection. So the first thing I'll do is I'll check to see how many layers are on the roof. So I usually just lift up here, it's one layer. I do notice right away that this valley was not closed up properly, that this does not even have drip edge, and because of that, the first thing I notice is rotted wood. I also like to look to see the granular loss. Most of the time on your roof, the granules will end up in your gutter. So if your gutters are filled with your shingle granules, then we know that you have quite a bit of wear and tear. And as you can see, just looking at these shingles, there's not much left. It's down to the fiberglass mat. Your waterproofing is the granules. Your fiberglass mat is actually going to absorb the water. So we look in here and it's just all granules. So a lot of granular loss, and it's actually weighing down the gutter quite a bit. Another thing I like to look at is, are your gutters draining? Because in the winter, when this fills up and snow accumulates and everything is going to back up underneath your shingles, and this has no ice and water shield, so you're not going to be protected. So that's all we found without even getting off the ladder yet. Now I'm gonna just walk the roof and see what else I find. This is a mess. Obviously tar does not fix anything. That's not the proper way to fix things. So this would need a new storm collar. We would rip this out, put a new storm collar on there. Other things I'd like to look at. So this is kind of a sloppy cut. This looks like it was new. Someone just replaced this. So this row of shingles should have went over top and then it would have opened out. You don't want to bury your pipe collars, but at the same time, now water can run underneath of here and it will find that nail. Another thing I noticed is here's a seam, here's a seam, here's a seam, here's a seam. So these shingles were racked like the old 3-tabs. They recommend that you do not do that with dimensional shingles. So we'll continue looking. Another thing I noticed is they used real small pieces in the valley, and that means they got nails in the valley. So that is definitely a no good. You want to keep pieces at least 12 inches because you cannot have a nail within 6 inches of the valley. We like to play it safe and keep it at least 8 to 12 inches away, but this is a no-go. All these small pieces, that means they had to nail this down, which means that there's nails now in the valley. And now another thing I'm noticing is, see the top of this shingle here? These corners are required to be clipped at a 45-degree angle. So now when water is coming down this valley, it's going to hit this tip of this shingle and run backwards. Where if you cut this corner off, it's going to hit that cut and then go back into the valley where you're most protected. All right, moving on. This also looks like a newer install, and again, completely installed incorrectly. All these shingles should have been over top. You can see somebody came up and caulked it. That's not going to last long. These shingles should have been cut to go around, and this flange only goes up to here, so that's bad news. So the shingles should have been all around, all the way around, and then stopped on this rail and came out over top the roof. And we'll keep going. So I did notice that this roof does have vented soffit, so it is taken in the air, but as you can see there's no vent at the top, so it's not able to get out. And another thing that I do not like is how flat these caps are. They should have built it up with some 2x2s or something, or a ridge vent, but these caps are flat and just going to hold water, and water is going to run backwards, which, yeah. Nothing too wrong with this. Only thing I would have done different is I would have just cut these off. There's no need for this here because that's just going to make water, catch debris. But overall, not bad. Right here, it looks like we got a bad piece of roof decking. I don't know if you can see it in the video. Got quite the dip there. So always be careful when you're walking around up here. Again, no ridge vent at all. And these caps look like they did just have a repair. So yeah, and then that repair is going to explain to me why they got two different types of shingles. So we got the traditional 3-tab here on this top row, and then your dimensional shingle here. Also with these valleys, you do not want the water. See how this is all catching all this debris now? You want your cut on your valley to be 2 inches from the center of the valley. So that cut should have been all the way out here, just to allow for a nice channel for that water to come through. And this is just catching a lot of debris and damming up water. So these are just some of the few things we look for. And again, you know, you can get away with this. It's not recommended. It makes for an ugly appearance, and when you rack your shingles like this, what happens is usually the ends will not seal because you have to lift this shingle up to nail the end of this shingle when you rack it like that. So when you do that, it kind of causes a curling effect. So I know that all these ends here are not going to be tied down, which just leaves you vulnerable to wind damage. And some manufacturers will not warranty it. And then you can again see that these shingles are just down to the fiberglass mat. So needless to say, I will not be given a roof certification on this roof. I do not want to be responsible for it. I don't want the next buyers to believe that they have a good roof, whether it be last 3 years, 2 years, 5 years. I do not want to be responsible for it. So the only other thing I can suggest is getting a new roof, or the buyer will have to agree to having this roof. Alrighty, well I thank you guys, and I'll post some more videos for you on how we operate here at the Grace Family Roofing Company. Thank you.